Welcome to the Indian Council of Medical Research online prescribing skills course for the Indian medical graduates. I am Dr. Hitesh Mishra and today I am going to talk about module on the health ecosystem, healthcare setting and national health programs and their importance to prescribing. Module is authored by Professor Dr. Harihar Dikshit, Dr. Hitesh Mishra, that is myself, and Dr. Nidhi Prasad. The module is reviewed by Professor Dr. Nilima Shirsagar and the experts from various RUMC centers across India. The outline of the module, so introduction of the module followed by specific learning objective, discussion on case report, relevant point to the topic, do's and don'ts for the topic, take home message, references and in the last the acknowledgement. The topics discussed in the module are health ecosystem and healthcare settings and national health programs. So, let us start the topic on the health ecosystem and healthcare settings in India. So, the health of the people in a country is determined by the following determinants, that is biological, behavioral and socio-cultural, environmental, socio-economic and political. Health is a state of dynamic equilibrium or adjustment between man and environment. The environment may be internal, that is biological or behavioral, or external, that is socio-economic, environmental and political. Together they form the health ecosystem. In India, the healthcare delivery is provided by the following stakeholders. First important stakeholder is public health sector, which is providing the healthcare delivery via the primary health care, that is through the primary health centers and health and wellness centers, secondary and tertiary health care via the district hospitals, sub-district hospitals, community health centers, medical colleges and health insurance schemes like the employees state insurance scheme, central government of health services, agencies like defense services, railways etc. and recently the Ayushman Bharat. The second important stakeholder is the private sector, which delivers the healthcare via the means of insurance, via the means of dispensaries, general practitioners, clinics, nursing homes, hospitals etc. And the third important stakeholder is the system of alternative medicines, which delivers the healthcare via the Ayush, that is the Ayurveda, Yoga, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy and the other. The specific learning objectives of the module is that after completing the topic, the Indian medical graduate shall be able to describe the services provided by primary and secondary levels of healthcare system, discuss the importance of rational prescribing in primary and secondary healthcare settings and differentiate among different healthcare settings, namely OPD, IPD, ICU, casualty with respect to usage of medicines. Review and revise the prescriptions, selecting appropriate medicines based on healthcare settings. Justify a need for referral to higher centers, that is secondary and tertiary healthcare centers, using the Department of Health Research ICMR algorithm based on clinical manifestations and availability of facilities at a center. And the last SLO is appreciate need for providing first aid, emergency treatment, stabilization prior to transfer. Now let us have a look on a case report. A farmer Mr. MK, age 35 years, male, was brought by his relative to the clinic in a state of status epilepticus. The physician there treated him with injection diazepam 5 mg intravenously and observed him for next 6 hours. As there was no recurrence of it, he was sent back to home. Now can you answer the following questions? Was the primary treatment is as per standard treatment guideline? Was sending the patient back to home after primary treatment right? What is expected from an Indian medical graduate in such condition? Now the explanation to the above questions are that as per Department of Health Research ICMR standard treatment outflow, the appropriate treatment is the injection lorazepam intravenously followed by injection phenytoin 20 mg per kilogram intravenously loading dose. The physician must guide and refer the patient after stabilization to appropriate tertiary care center for further management. And answer to the third question is that once the patient returns back home after the appropriate management at higher centers, the Indian medical graduate should follow up the patient and ensure his adherence to the prescription prescribed for epilepsy. Now, as an Indian medical graduate, you should also know what are the services provided at the primary healthcare level. So, these are medical care, maternal and child health including family planning services, safe water supply and sanitation, prevention control of locally endemic diseases, recording and reporting vital events, health education, referral services, services under the national health programs, training of health staff and health volunteers and basic laboratory services. Now, as an Indian medical graduate, you should also know the services that are provided at the secondary healthcare level. So, these are routine and specialist OPD services, that is medicine, surgery, obs, gynae and pediatrics, and inpatient services, emergency services, treatment of eye diseases, laboratory services and services under all the national health program. So, what are the positive recommendation for an Indian medical graduate with regard to the health ecosystem and healthcare setting in India? They are: first, diagnose and prescribe rationally, individualization of prescribing based on standard treatment guidelines of the national health programs, suspect the non-responders with non-adherence, wrong diagnosis or drug resistant infection, timely referral of complicated cases to higher centers, and the last, in case of comorbidities like the AIDS and tuberculosis, consider drug interactions, monitor closely for response and adverse drug reaction. Now, there is the important working flow chart that will show how the Indian medical graduate will improve the working in the primary healthcare setup. So, as an Indian medical graduate, you have to diagnose the condition and code it according to the International Classification of Disease 10 guidelines, then generate and update the records and register them on daily basis, that is the compiling of the monthly reports. Sit together with all the staff to discuss and conduct monthly meeting and review. This is called problem mapping, and in the last draw conclusions and implement them. So, what are the negative recommendations for the topic on the health ecosystem and healthcare settings? So, do not delay the referral of patient to higher centers after stabilizing the patient if situation demands. Now, let us move to our second topic of the module, that is the national health programs. So, national health programs helps to control or eradicate the communicable and non-communicable diseases, improve environmental sanitation, raise the standard of nutrition, control population growth, improve rural health and monitor the adverse drug reactions. So, the specific learning objectives for this topic are that after completing the topic, the Indian medical graduate shall be able to prescribe rationally for conditions included in the national health programs using the guidelines provided by these programs, educate the patients and the healthcare staff regarding benefits of complying to the national health programs. Now, let us have a look on the case report. A farmer Mr. MK, 44 years male, presented at the clinic with complaints of cough with sputum for past 2 months, loss of appetite, weight and recurrent fever. On investigation, chest X-ray shows bilateral hilar apical opacities, sputum AFB2+. The physician there diagnosed him as a case of pulmonary tuberculosis and he prescribed AK-84, that is a combination of first line anti-tubercular drug, 1 kit daily, empty stomach for 2 months and review. After 6 months, the patient returned to the clinic with same symptoms. History reveals that patient stops taking medicine after some clinical improvement. On investigation, chest X-ray shows diffuse opacity in right lung, sputum AFB3+. Physician advised him gene expert test of sputum available in the district hospital, but the patient ignored and relied upon the local caregiver. After few months, he presented at the district hospital OPD in cachectic state with complaints of hemoptysis. After taking the detailed history of his present illness, the chest physician ordered gene expert test of sputum, which revealed multi-drug resistant tuberculosis detected and rifampicin resistance present. So, what is expected from an Indian medical graduate in such situations? Indian medical graduate is expected to take proper history, do clinical examination, order investigations, make clinical diagnosis and prescribe. Guide the patient about free availability of quality anti-tubercular drugs in government hospitals and which the primary physician has not done. Send the patient for gene expert test of sputum available in the district hospitals in doubtful cases. Notify the disease. Provide instructions about how to take the medicines and importance of completing the course. Now, as the term notification comes, so what are the notifiable diseases? I am presenting the list of notifiable diseases, and these are cerebrospinal fever, typhoid fever, chickenpox, tuberculosis, diphtheria, infectious hepatitis, leprosy, epidemic influenza, cholera, whooping cough, measles, viral encephalitis, plague, hemorrhagic fever, rabies, malaria, scarlet fever, tetanus, poliomyelitis, dengue and AIDS. Now, the notifiable diseases, they vary from state to state. Now, the question arises how and where to notify. So, the notifiable diseases under the infectious disease surveillance program are to be reported on a weekly basis, and if outbreak is suspected, then report it within 24 hours. The information generated by the clinician is filled in the form P, that is the presumptive diagnosis form, and form L, that is the laboratory diagnosis form, by the authorized person, which in most cases is the data entry operator. The weekly data is shared with state surveillance unit and central surveillance unit via the email, fax, hard copy, phone, or uploading it on the IDSP website, that is idsp.nic.in. The respective surveillance officer analyze the data and rapid response team is constituted if needed. Any rising trend is investigated by the rapid response team to diagnose and control the outbreak. Now, here I am just presenting the glimpse of form P used to send the weekly information of the cases of presumptive diagnosis to the surveillance unit. This is the form L used to send the information of the laboratory confirmed cases of diseases to the surveillance unit. Now, how the information flows under the infectious disease surveillance program? So, the information about the cases from the public health lab, from the community health centers, sub-district hospitals, district hospitals, medical colleges, government hospitals, corporate hospitals, primary health centers, private hospitals, private laboratories, they reaches to the district surveillance unit. From there the information goes to the state surveillance unit and then ultimately it reaches to the central surveillance unit. The respective surveillance unit then takes action according to the severity of disease. Now, as an Indian medical graduate, you should know what are the national health programs that are providing free medicines to the patient. So, these are reproductive and child health program, universal immunization program, Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, National Vector Borne Disease Control Program, revised National Tuberculosis Control Program, National AIDS Control Program, National Leprosy Eradication Program, National Rabies Control Program, Program for Prevention and Control of Leptospirosis, Yaws Eradication Program, National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases and Stroke, National Program for Health Care of the Elderly, National Tobacco Control Program, Drug Detection Program, National Program for Control of Blindness and Visual Impairment, National Mental Health Program and National Nutrition Programs. So, what are the positive recommendations to the Indian medical graduate regarding the national health programs? So, these are IMG must ensure proper utilization of government services under the National Health Program. The Indian medical graduate also must ensure that the benefit of National Health Program should reach to the eligible persons. The Indian medical graduate must ensure the patient's access to the currently functioning government health services. So, what are the take home message for the Indian medical graduate from this module? So, utilize the national health programs for the eligible patients, individualize to prescribing using the standard treatment guidelines, standard treatment workflow and national health programs, and the last, refer patient to higher centers after stabilizing as per Department of Health Research, ICMR or standard treatment workflow or any other guidelines. These are the references for further reading. I, along with Professor Dr. Hariyar Dikshit and Dr. Nidhi Prasad, wish our sincere thanks to Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Dr. Setu Sinha, committee members of Rational Use of Medicine Center Committee, faculties and staff of Department of Pharmacology, IGMS Patna for their constant support to develop this module. Thank you for participating in the ICMR online course of prescribing skills for rational use of medicine. Hope you will be able to answer the multiple choice questions. We also expect you to evaluate a few prescriptions from your workplace and upload. Best wishes and happy learning.